to save Miller. He's in Afghanistan.
Afghanistan?
What, you can't keep up with world affairs in a coma? 4 years ago, the Soviets invaded Afghanistan. The Muslims are fighting back with Western support. Miller was training Mujahideen rebels when he was captured by the Soviets. The Reds' 40th Army. Troop strength somewhere around 100,000. Squad holding Miller set off near the Pakistan border yesterday. Now in 3 days, they'll reach the Soviet garrison. They'll be interrogated for a few more days, and it's off to a lager. Or left to rot in a ditch on Afghan soil. I give him 2 weeks. The job didn't mean anything to Miller. He only took it on to keep you safe. Well, there's our ride. It's a whaling ship. Had a pretty good deal on her once the IWC started raising a stink. Now 7 days to Port Qasim, another 3 overland. So we won't have much time once we're there. Don't take too long getting used to your new self. Hang on. Ha!
Hideo Kojima, the man and the legend himself, which apparently has been retired now. Chapter 1, Revenge. Back in action. Now, obviously, I know the game is open world and all. Just don't know what to expect of this open world too much. I kind of haven't. Alright guys, so let me just tell you nice and early, from this point on, there is not going to be any in-game audio. Something happening in the recordings, and I was using a different setting with my usual video capture recording thingy. So basically, the next, this 1, 2, 5 videos are either not going to have any background audio, or they're just going to be, they're just only going to have a little bit. Now, I think that it only affected about 2-3 videos that the audio got cut off at whatever random points the audio got cut off. For the most part, there's not going to be any cinematics or anything like that. So don't have to worry about, you know, missing out too much. You're only going to miss out just footsteps and whatever the in-game noise is. Unfortunately, there's no way for me to re-record this or any of this, as a matter of fact, without me having to restart the game and do everything. By that point on, I've already done about 3 hours in-game. 3 to 4 hours, actually. That's more like 3 hours. Anyways, so I've done 3 hours like in the game. I'm not gonna go back to do, you know, let's say, let's just very positively look at this and say, I'm gonna scrap 2 hours out of recordings just to have some audio in a couple of videos. It's just not worth it. So because it's not that such a big deal, then I'm just gonna leave it as is and move on. Now that took me like 5 minutes to explain to you guys. Let's move on to the actual gameplay. Right now it's just this is like the first time Snake is on his own, and after however long training and however many months it has been since he's actually woke up. And yeah, I'm not gonna say this is kind of like a tutorial, because it really isn't, because the game is so intuitive and so basic that I didn't felt like I needed too much of a tutorial or learning too much. I like when games do this, right? And this is why games are getting clever nowadays without us noticing it. Basically, by this point on in the game, even though I've never actually played this, I already kind of know everything I gotta do. So it's very intuitive. Now, obviously, there are other videos where I've done more stuff, but at this point, it hasn't been really that much. And the game kind of gave you the bare basics, and it just lets you go on your own. And I think it's great. It works out really, really well. One thing I will say, I don't know, like I like the way the graphics look, and these are not by all means the best graphics in the world, but they're really, really, really well done. So I don't know, I like it. I just like the way the game looks. Now, I keep seeing that thing shining there, and I have absolutely no idea what that is. So if any of you guys know, can you leave me a comment and let me know what it is? I would really appreciate it, as I have no idea what that is. And I kept looking at it, and I kept thinking, because he's telling you if you tap the left button, you can kind of, I'll give you more information about the place. And then you kind of have to mark that house I was just looking at, this one. You kind of have to place a marker there, which I just have done. And then that's pretty much where you gotta go, and that's where the main point is and all that, kind of to that area, not necessarily on that house, but that's where the game is kind of pointing you at. And yeah, I just kept my eyes just focused on that roof, but I never went there. So I still don't know what it is that is. Could be some really good secret in the game, or could be something not important, but I never actually found out, so I'm kind of curious about that. Speaking of which, I might go back and actually go look at it. I don't know. We'll see. Also, I'll try not to spoil anything, because obviously this is post-commentary after the fact that I've done 10 videos, maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I've played about 10 hours, so I know 5 of them are kind of not working very well. But what I find stupid is the first 3 videos were absolutely fine. So and I kept recording them, and once I finished one, I kept just recording the other. So every 20 minutes I would just stop and start again, so you guys don't get to miss much. And if anything goes wrong, where my computer shuts off or whatever, I don't lose 2 hours of recording. I just lose about 20 minutes, which is not too much of a big deal. So I don't know, I kept starting and stopping, but at some point in time where I was starting, the codec I was using for the audio must have just crapped out on me, probably. So I know I'm still going on with that audio issue, but it kind of really bothers me. And because at some point in time I just like to hear the background noise and what the guards say, footsteps, anything like that, and kind of focus on it. Now, me adding post commentary, especially with no audio, it's just me looking at what the characters do. Oh, he's a bit moving around a bit. I mean, it's just me looking at the gameplay and having to figure out what it is. I'm not really used to do this anymore. I used to do a lot of post commentary back in the day when I was doing Call of Duty videos, and that was kind of great. But I kind of went off that because it just, I don't know, it was just boring me. I like do live commentary, especially playing games that I've never played before. So you get my genuine first impressions to things, rather than me knowing everything about it and then just kind of give it more as a guide, as in, oh, if you open this door, this is going to happen, or if you open that door, that's going to happen. That's like more informative and probably more useful for you guys, but at the same time, and my phone is ringing, of course. Alright guys, I'm back once again. Sorry about that. Of course I had to be interrupted while I do a post commentary, just to delay me a bit more. Keep in mind, I got 2 or 3 other videos of these to do, and I really just want to get back and play this game. It's so stupidly addicting. It's crazy. I'm gonna go kind of ranting and rambling on about well, not ranting really or rambling. It's just I want to go over a bit Metal Gear and my kind of experience with it, letting you guys know some personal opinions, of course. And when I say personal, I mean they're my own. Some people might share the same opinions as me. Some people might share different ones. Just please do keep in mind. First Metal Gear was great. Really loved it. I remember playing on a PS1. I still have the discs for that, which is ridiculous. Still have the case, the discs and everything. But I do have it on the PS3 as well, as like a digital download, whatever. So yeah, I got like 2 versions of the same game, I know. Anyways, loved it, the first one. You know, thought it was really, really great story. And one thing that I do kind of hope it happens, really do wish this happens, is either an HD remake of the first Metal Gear, or a mod for this Metal Gear Solid 5 with the kind of story and the setting of the first one. That would be really, really cool if somebody, you know, was able to do that. Yeah, but I love it. The second one, I think it's the one that most people dislike, and mostly because it was kind of like a bait and switch, where you get the prologue, you get the first part of the story, playing a Snake, doing a normal mission, and then you have to play as Raiden, and I missed that diamond there. I just noticed it. I just went past it and didn't even pay attention to it. Oh well. Anyways, the second one was kind of like of a bait and switch, where we get to see, and he heard me. I was making a lot of noise because I was walking too fast, even though I was crouched down. Anyway, yeah, the second one was, I kind of still liked it. That's the thing. That's where most people are gonna disagree with me here. I liked it because I liked the mechanics, I liked the graphics, and I liked the gameplay. The way you could have, you could aim down the sights, you could kind of look in, you know. I just liked it, basically. I didn't like that you weren't playing as Snake, you're playing as Raiden. Don't particularly like that character too much. But I did kind of like the length of the game, the setting, how much you can do, what you can do. It took the first Metal Gear to a whole next level. And although the story isn't as good or whatever isn't as great, I still enjoyed it. You know, I still really enjoyed it. I remember playing it like, you know, I'm not gonna say religiously, but I did play it quite a bit just to, you know, mess around in the game as one does. And then we have Metal Gear Solid 3, which is still my favorite Metal Gear game. And I don't know why 100% it is my favorite one, but I think it's the setting, the time zone, like the timeline, the kind of woods kind of vibe to it, you know, being in the forest and all that, and the mechanics of the game, being able to fix yourself, eating stuff, eating snake eater, and all that stuff. So I really, 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 really like Metal Gear Solid 3. I do have Snake Eater on disc right now, and I don't have, unfortunately. I'm gonna have to see if I can find that for a decent price online. Subsistence, I think it was called. And that is a better version of Metal Gear Solid 3, because it kind of lets your camera go into 3D, while Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater only kind of pans the camera around, but it keeps it on stupid angles, which I don't particularly like too much. So if I could get a copy of Subsistence anywhere, I don't think you can buy it on the PlayStation Store, which is a damn shame, but I really, really want to get back to it. I did have a copy of it. I really did, on the PS2, and I remember the version I played on my channel was Subsistence, but I don't think I have it anymore, and it's a damn shame, because it's, again, you'd think one of my favorite games like that, and I wouldn't have it, but I really don't think I have it anymore. So, oh well, that's all I can say. But other than that, and I'm thinking about it, I have every single Metal Gear Solid game that ever came out of, ever. I have them all on discs. And I gotta say, I've been a fan. There hasn't been that many. There's only 5. Well, there's a bit more than 5, but 5 major releases that we can tell. So there hasn't been too many Metal Gear games, but the few that have been really revolutionary. And one thing you can expect from Metal Gear is story heavy, as in 5 minutes gameplay, 10 minutes of codec sequencing, another 10 minutes of flashbacks and just animations and all that, which it's probably not a lot of people's cup of tea, but Metal Gear does it so well that I don't know, I kind of like it. But keeping on the timeline, then we have Metal Gear Solid 4, which again a lot of people dislike for some reason. Most people just stay away from it. I didn't dislike it, but it wasn't. Again, it wasn't that's such a great game. I liked the mechanics. I liked the suit, where you kind of can like, you don't have to choose, because I remember Metal Gear Solid 3, you had to keep changing your suit, and this is where the video starts crapping out as well. And yeah, well, I suppose I'll keep on this chat on the next video, guys. Until then, see you on the next episode.